Seaver woke slowly, as she always did, keeping completely still as she took stock of her body while her mind inched its way towards consciousness. She filled her lungs with stale air until the stretching against her ribs began to sting. As she calmly released the air, she realized she wasn't breathing alone. Beside her, on her left, quick and shallow puffs of air blew against her cheek. Seaver continued to breathe naturally, defying her body's first instinct to tense. Carefully, she let her head loll to the right, away from the presence at her side. She remained unmoving for long minutes, testing the light against her closed eyes. She couldn't remember falling asleep. She remembered arriving in New Mexico and being whisked to the agency's facility there. Remembered the holding cell and Edry's welcoming smile, like they were old friends. He hadn't said a word the whole time she was there, only smirking indulgently no matter what she spit at him. The only time he spoke was as she was leaving.
"See you soon, Agent."
He'd waved her out with an easy grin, and try as she might, she couldn't suppress the unease that rolled through her. She pushed the memory from her mind and opened her eyes to the barest of slivers. All she saw was a gray wall, an empty metal chair, and the outline of a door. The empty chair certainly meant that she was being watched. The breathing on her left meant that she was being watched closely. Seaver moved her arms and legs slowly, her movement almost unnoticeable, and checked for restraints. Both legs and her right arm were free. Her left wrist was attached to something. She could feel the smooth plastic of a zip tie against her skin and the weight of an object restricting her testing tug. She hoped that it was a person rather than some kind of pole. Being tied to a captor meant the other party was 70% more likely to have a tool to cut through the zip tie on them, while an inanimate object... Seaver pulled in another deep breath and allowed her head to loll back to the left side. The person didn't move or even shift in the slightest. Seaver lay there, again testing the light against her closed eyes and counting the breaths of her unknown companion. She hoped that he or she were asleep, or at least looking away so that she could have some kind of advantage. After a few minutes passed, with no change in the light, and no change in the quick and shallow breaths puffing against her face, Seaver decided she didn't have time to wait for something to happen. She couldn't know her enemy if she wouldn't even look at them. She cracked her eyes open just as she had when she surveyed the other side. Her eyes landed on a small, flat chest. She adjusted her sight up, and her gaze collided with the tearing eyes of a child. Terror filled the kid's brown gaze before he brought his hands up to shield his head, tugging her zip-tied arm along with his. What the heck was going on?